I say, well, I'm intimately acquainted with the concept of destiny. I can't say I've ever met him in person.
And he says, well, then you may call me Mr. Locke. He says, we have a mutual friend. We also have a mutual enemy. He reaches into his cloak. And he pulls out a piece of cloth that looks like it was ripped off of a cloak or some such. And the cloth itself is sand-colored. But there's a crest stitched in around it. And you see dried blood covering part of it. The sigil on the cloth is similar to the sigil you saw when you first raided Gendred's quarters on the ship, when you burned all of his shit. Mm-hmm. It has that same skull and death motif that he had on his... what all did he have? He had, like, a rug, and he had, like, bedclothes and things with it. And he had,
the rug tried to kill us,
vestments.
didn't it?
The rug did try to kill you. Yeah, that was hilarious. But it has the same sigil. He puts it on the table and he slides it across and then returns to his dinner roll.
Gendred? Tarin will just kind of pick it up.
This is Gendred indeed. He's overly ambitious, that one. He sought me out not long ago, saying he had a way to leave. And, very predictably, tried to double-cross me. He laughs a little bit. He says, he has this plan to trap the souls of extraplanar creatures, etc., etc. And he thought that I was such a creature. Well, I gave him the slip, of course. But now I want to kill him.
That seems reasonable.
And he gauges the reaction from around the room when he says that.
Tarin just sort of nods cautiously.
Orphan agrees with him.
You're right. Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Khalil's knuckles just crack.
Eldove is chaotic good. Also, can we step back 5 minutes or so? Did you say his name was Mr. Locke?
Destin Locke. He said,
as in Mr. Warlock?
As what? Warlock? No, as in like John Locke from Lost. As in that's
God, I knew you were gonna go there.
I like that character. I'm sorry. And then he becomes the devil at one point, so I thought it was fitting. But I gave him a different first name. Shut up. Never mind. And so yeah, he slid the sigil across, and he's waiting to gauge your reactions as he's finishing up his roll.
Eldove doesn't recognize it.
Arik rolls his eyes.
He says, so, we can work together then.
Tarin's just sort of staring at him.
Orphan
Arik
asks,
is looking at Tarin. Like,
Orphan asks,
really?
Orphan
Sorry,
asks what?
Oh, yeah. Well, I agree that our interests are shared, but do we really need your help for this? We were already sort of planning to go out there and kill him anyway.
He says, you don't know what you're up against. That's the problem. I have an idea of what you're up against, and I can help you.
And what's, aside from, you know, having your mutual enemy killed, what's in it for you?
I get to leave.
And here Tarin's gonna give him a look like he's crazy.
He reaches again into his cloak and draws out 3 envelopes. All 3 have a very ornate sigil drawn on them in red ink, with just the initials DL. He places the 3 envelopes on the table, and he keeps his fingers tightly on them. He says, I have 3 very powerful pieces of information that can help you bring Gendred down. And I'm prepared to give them to you for very, very low costs.
I don't think any of us are interested in selling our souls, if that's what you're about to say.
And he chuckles.
I'm already on a timeshare.
He chuckles to himself and shakes his head. Says, I have no interest in souls. They're dreary and fickle things, of very little value to me.
Then what's your price?
He taps the first envelope and says, I know a way to leave this world. Reliable, consistent, but very dangerous. So there is a witch who has lived for 10,000 years. And she has a device that walks between the worlds. He says, I believe that you, mortals though you are, have it within yourself to take control of this device. And, if you agree, once you have control of it, to let me walk in the front door and out the back door, I will tell you where it is and how to take it. He said, that's the first piece of information. And he waits to gauge your reaction.
Side note, Brick, I have a note here for after the game. I'll just let you know that.
Okay.
This seems fine to Eldove. At first he cared about people from Dunvoss, now he's gone as far as to care about people from this plane. But that's as far as he's willing to go. So every demon that fucking leaves, that's a plus.
And the second?
He says, the second is a personal request. Inside the witch's grasp, some of my old allies remain, shackled by her. If you're able to free their shackles and liberate them, and I assure you no harm will come to you if you do, I would be in your debt, and the payment would be great. If they're too far gone, if they have lost themselves to chaos, I ask that you kill them and return me their eyes.
What?
And
Did I misspeak?
and we would be safe, but what about others? I mean, you have to admit, obviously, I don't entirely trust your type.
He says, you are wise.
Freed on this world, or any other world for that matter.
Orphan breaks in here. What is your type anyway?
Or
Only one of us can see you properly, I think.
When Orphan says that, Locke looks over at Tarin and sees if he's going to reply.
out of character, the answer is 4. In character, not entirely sure. A little bit outside of my area, a little bit out of my own depth, in all honesty here. Kind of making up as I go.
Then he turns his attention back to Orphan and says, I'm a businessman, a man of means, and a man of mild ambition. Then he taps the third envelope, and he says, Gendred has a very powerful ally, a warlock of incredible magical talent. I know how to neutralize her without lifting a finger. And in payment for that, I ask that you relinquish to me the bodies of this warlock and of Gendred, once they are killed. So you see, the payment is fair. And he starts to tuck into his salad.
Tarin raises a finger. We're going to need some time, but all of those are things we can issue payment for afterwards, so... What, do you need information? Do you need the agreement from us right now? Because obviously, we don't have any of those to give you just yet.
He says, oh, I'm willing to relinquish the envelopes to you and take you at your word.
Well, I'm still not sure that we're going to agree to these, but...
He says, well, I'm disappointed that we've reached this state before dinner has been served, but if you need to confer amongst your companions, please take all the time that you need. He stands up, he taps his lip with a napkin, places it gingerly back on his plate, takes the 3 envelopes, put them back in his cloak. He bows, says, then by your leave, Captain. And he turns and leaves the room.
As soon as the door closes, Arik bursts out. Can we please not deal with demons? Please?
I think you might be a devil.
Can
Yeah,
that just
Zook
be
looks-
the one line we don't cross, please?
Duke looks at Tarin and goes, so exactly how scary is his actual face?
Fiery sword, longer than you are tall. Eyes like smoldering coals, large wings, reptilian scales.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Right. So, if we give a powerful demon the body of a powerful warlock, is that going to make him to a god?
I have no idea what he would want the bodies for.
After dying, I'm not even sure there are gods.
Wow.
Oh.
Osprum's gonna remember that.
Khalil just... He's right there with Eldove. Where did my life go wrong? What the hell is this? What is this even?
Again, I'm not particularly easy with any of the three. The first one, I mean, on one hand, letting him free from this world would be a whatever, but then there's the rest of the universe, the rest of the multiverse to consider. The second
Right,
one,
who cares? The first one seems pretty good.
Big onion.
The second one, I mean, again, I didn't get any word that his minions would not destroy, again, the rest of the multiverse. And then the third one, I have no clue at all.
Here's what I understand about about at least two of these. His goal, as he put it to us, is he wants to get off world, right?
Yes.
So why? And he knows in the first one of these tasks he put to us is to go hunt down this witch who has some way of doing that. Why doesn't he just go after that and leave this world?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to risk himself.
They just hired
And the-
some
and the
murderer
third
to
thing
do
is-
it.
If he has such a way of reducing this warlock's threat to nothing, apparently it's no hard thing for him. Why doesn't he do it? It sounds like he wants to get John dead just as badly as the rest of us. Why does he need us at all?
Maybe we're tougher than he is.
I mean, Ephes seemed to think that we couldn't take him in a straight fight, but
His
I tend to
type
be-
seems to be the type that doesn't dirty his hands with his own work with that type.
no, I mean, you don't get to
Before.
be 10,000 years old by taking unnecessary risks. That's why I look at it.
So what was he?
Is that out of character or in character?
In character.
I have
You haven't
no
said
idea.
anything.
I said that he's some kind of demon.
I described him to you.
Yeah.
Right, but you didn't say what he was.
Tarin has
Well,
no
we
idea.
don't know.
He failed
Tarin doesn't
his
know.
check.
Eldove doesn't know that Tarin doesn't know. God damn it! I'm trying to be in character.
No, he told us he doesn't know in character.
I don't.
Yeah, he did.
Let's not deal with.
Listen,
demons,
Eldove not paying attention is in
please.
character too.
You know what? Honestly, I'm kind of willing to go with Arik on this one.
All right.
Wait, really?
If Tarin is unwilling to go get into some sort of deal with an interplanetary creature, I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea.
I don't know. I'm fully okay with sending him out of this world. That seems like a good idea.
It really depends
Any,
on what.
in fact,
on what he
number
is.
one plan, like, how about we just come up with a rule here? Any demons want to leave this world, we say that's fine. Like, they can all just leave.
I still don't understand how this world isn't just overflowing with interplanar creatures if gates into it are somewhat common. It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe every so often, a group of adventurers lets the demons out through a witch's door.
No, I mean, legitimately, there are lines that I'm not willing to cross, and while I'm willing to tear the moorings of the world from their very fabric, I don't know that I want to deal with this guy.
Maybe you should leave too.
What do you think he's been trying to do for well over a year now?
Build a library?
The library's coming along nicely. I mean, you have to admit it.
But the library is really nice. You're right.
Means to an end. Means
So-
to an end.
You guys are under no pressure to come up with a answer right now. You could always have more discussions with him, you can always put him off. I mean, he's got all the time in the world.
We could jerk him around a bit.
Alright,
Oh.
I think also, I think I know enough to know you probably don't just say no to a demon. So let's tell him we'll get in touch if we decide to take him up on his offer.
So you tell him you need time to think about it?
Does that work for everyone? I mean, again, Tarin's entirely fine with turning him down. This is going to be the one time you might actually take Arik's advice here.
And he says, when you come to him and say that we need more time to think about it, well, how do you phrase it? What do you actually tell him?
We've decided that we can't necessarily take you up on the offer right now. We might in the future, depending on how badly our attempts to take Gendred on our own are stymied.
Is there any way that I can sweeten the deal for you?
I'll look at Arik, shake my head.
Who is here? Is this all of us here?
Whoever wants to be there.
Okay.
I'm assuming you guys went back to where he's staying at the inn.
Yeah. Look at Arik, shake my head no. I'm afraid not, friend.
He looks over at Arik.
Yeah.
He knows who to blame for this.
Says, well, my gold flows endlessly, and you will know where to find me when I'm needed. And he returns to his room.
Okay, so he's just gonna stay in our inn until.
He's just going to stay here.
Yeah.
Hey, he's gonna stay here forever, paying a ton of money. Maybe we should keep him around.
Orphan looks at Arik and says, I know a way we can get him to leave.
I like the sound of that.
So here's...
How?
Oh, are you asking how?
Yeah.
Should I take him up on his offer? He'll
I see what you did
he'll-
there.
he'll be here until we do. So we may as well get it over with. That's how I see it.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like either we're going to fight him, in which case, fine, or we're going to let him leave. But we can't just say we're not going to let him leave, and then let him leave once we open up the plains again by killing Gendred.
More than that, Arik, do you want to leave here, the Blue Whirling Inn, and go do anything else, knowing that he's going to be here with all these people?
Be fine. He's a good tipper.
He's an excellent tipper, yes.
He is a very good tipper.
He tips all your cows every night.
You have cows?
It's a farm, yo.
He tips all of your peasants every night.
So what is Arik and Tarin's response to Orphan? Orphan and Eldove's logic, what is their response?
That is very sound logic. And I
If you
hate
think-
every part of it.
If you think getting him out of here is more important, we just take him up on the first point? I'll worry about the other two?
Is our understanding that killing Gendrick is going to open up all the realms? Is that?
I don't know where
You have no
Eldove
understanding
got
of
that
that at
idea.
all. No.
Yeah. He seems
Eldove has been convinced of that since like 2 years ago.
the timeline doesn't make any sense.
Hmm?
The world has been locked for like 10,000 years. Gendry
Yeah.
just got here 2 years ago.
Seems to make sense. Listen, Eldove is very convinced that anything he does will have immense importance for the world.
So what do you tell Destin?
Whatever you want to do, Captain.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Well, let's do it this way, because we're coming up on time here. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna go down the list. Let's get a real quick thumbs up, thumbs down. Orphan.
What are we thumbs up and thumbs down?
Thumbs up as you take him up on one or more of his deals.
thumbs up on the assumption that he's a demon and not a devil.
What?
Is
Okay.
there a difference?
Arik. There's a big difference. Arik.
Yeah, there is.
That's in character.
Up or down?
Up.
And Khalil.
Up. Khalil has no reason to
Zook.
dissent with the.
These thumbs going up and goes, bugs and goes, what the hell?
Literally.
Very tentatively puts his thumb up.
Tarin.
Thumbs up. He was mostly trying to, make life better for Arik.
And Eldove is up
There's
still.
a bit of guilt about how terrible Arik's moral compass has been since he joined up.
Eldove is up, but he's wondering about when this group became a democracy.
Oh, it's not. I was just getting a sense of where the players are at. I mean, you guys can make whatever decision you want amongst the characters. I just wanted to get a sense of where the characters were at. Just like
Can I
Yeah,
ask
Orphan,
you-
Orphan actually is going to go at some point to him, to Locke, and just ask, if you don't mind, it's important for me to know before I take your offer. What are you?
Does Orphan go to him alone?
Yeah.
She would take somebody else along.
Who?
Eldove, I would think, if
Eldove.
Eldove wants to come. She would ask.
Eldove's up for it.
All right.
Okay. So you go to visit Destin in his room. Go to visit Mr. Locke. And he greets you and welcomes you in, and you see that he's decorated the room in many of your fine furs. He has a decanter of your fine wine sitting out that he's been enjoying all evening. He says, "To what do I owe the honor?"
I said I was thinking about your proposal, and there's something I had to know from you before I suggested to my captain that we take you up on it.
This is very well.
What are you exactly? Because I know a little bit about matters infernal, and I know that there is one type of creature who can be relied upon to keep his word, and one who can't.
And what's the type that can be relied on?
Out of character, Brig, let me know if I have this wrong, because
Okay.
I sometimes forget.
Yep.
I sometimes forget. Orphan says demons, I think, are the more somewhat trustworthy ones.
You have it backwards.
I do have backwards.
Devils. Here's the words you need to match up: infernal, devil, lawful,
Okay.
abyssal, chaotic, demon.
Okay,
That's how
what
it lines up.
Yeah, I knew one was chaotic and one was lawful, and
Yeah.
I just got it wrong.
In
So,
fifth
yeah,
in
I'll-
fifth
I'll-
edition D&D, specifically, all tieflings are at least part infernal. There are no abyssals. Don't create tieflings. That's going to change when we go into the Planescape campaign and the next campaign, obviously. But for this game, that's why tieflings start with the infernal as a language. That's where their hellish rebuke comes from.
Okay, so they're descent from demons.
Devils.
Devils.
Oh, from devils. Okay.
Yeah, demons are chaotic. They're from the abyss. Devils are lawful. They're from Beator.
See, that's why it seemed weird to me, because I'm sorry we're getting into such weird tangent stuff, but it seemed weird to me because the PHB always says, most tieflings are they tend toward chaotic.
And the reason for that
My
is
assumption was
the reason for that, getting a little bit metaphysical here, is that tieflings aren't bound by the same cosmological ideals that devils and demons are. They're mortal creatures, so their persona comes from their experience in their mortal life, where they are shunned, they're outcast, they're basically on their own.
gotcha.
That's where their chaotic and their free will comes from. And so a lot of them are conflicted between that free will and their ties to the Nine Hells. And it was the nature of that conflict that in Romneus began the practice of cutting off their tails.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, Orphan will say, "Well, it's not very. It doesn't avail me much to tell you what I want to hear, because then you just tell me that. I
He
just want you to
nods.
tell me what you are."
He says, "What do you see?"
A human, about somewhat elderly, not showing the signs of it much. Black hair, trimmed mustache, fine clothes. But I'm told by my captain that's not what he sees. But he wouldn't go into much detail.
Would you say that your captain is anchored in sanity? Does your captain see things that are not there?
Orphan Looks away a little bit uncomfortably.
Alda says the problem is that he tends to see things that we don't see, and then they turn out to be real, and then I wish that I didn't see them still.
He looks over at Eldove. Says, "In you, I see a monster of epic proportions. I see the gilded scales that cover your face. I see the fire that burns in your blood. I see ambition stretching far beyond the mortal coil." And he looks back at Orphan and says, "If I were you, I would be more wary of this one than me."
You know, I don't
That's
think he's
just
wrong.
rude.
And then he turns to Eldove and says, "And her, I see the horns coiling off her face. I see the forked tongue, the tail coiling from beneath her robes. I see the fire that leaps forward from her anger."
Right, that's what I like about her.
And he chuckles. He says, "So, we all have fire in our closet, so to speak. What can I do to make you
That's why I'm
believe?
entertaining your offer.
What can I do to make you believe that my word is my law? That I am trustworthy? Some demonstration, perhaps?"
Cat!
Cat.
He produces a cat. There, now I'm trustworthy.
How does the cat react to him?
Very, very upset that he's being held by this creature. No.
Sorry, my cat trying to knock over my water.
Do cats see through illusion?
No. See,
I bet they do, and that's why they just freaked out all the time.
he says, perhaps some demonstration of trustworthiness on my part. Perhaps as I told your captain, perhaps I can sweeten the deal. I can give you information free of charge, friend to friend. You can verify that it's true, and know that I can be trusted.
That makes sense.
He looks at
Eldove.
Eldove. Says, "You've been doing quite a lot of investigations into the workings of a cult of which you believe Gendred is part.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that I can tell you about the workings of this cult from the short time that I worked with Gendred."
It would seem like it would be in your best interest to tell us such a thing, considering that most of what you want us to do, that information would help.
He nods. Says, "I agree. And so, what would you like to know?"
Personally, most importantly, I'd like to know the exact location of where they are.
That's a difficult question to answer, because they are spread over a very wide area. Says the cult is formed of 5 circles. The innermost circle stands Gendred himself. Beyond him are a set of 7 advisors, one of which who is now unfortunately deceased at Gendred's hands. 6 remaining, the most powerful lieutenants of the cult, of which his Warlock companion is but one. Outside of them are the cult leaders of the individual cells spread along the coast of Romneus, and outside of them are the rank and file, the foot soldiers, like the one-handed man aboard your vessel. Gendred himself, as well as Ith, the shadow dragon that he usurped, stand in a fortress, impenetrable, on top of a mountain in the Shadowfell. His foot soldiers are spread throughout much of the world.
So from what you're saying, it sounds like we really do need your help.
Oh, you really do.
But Orphan sighs and said, "And I hate to be this person, but this is all the sort of thing that you would say if we have no way of verifying it. This is all the sort of thing you'd say to convince us that we need you."
What if I could give you something that you could verify?
Such as?
The second circle of the cults. They call themselves the Ribs of Ith. They are the bones that protect the heart. 7 once stood. One of them attempted to rebel. Gendred had him killed. Of the 6 that remain, I know the identities of 5. Of those 5, I know the true name of one, a name that, if spoken, would give you utter control over her existence.
And that's what you were offering us in the envelope.
Yes. He says, one of these ribs, in particular, was of interest to me. She did not seem to be loyal to Gendred. She did not seem to be loyal completely to the cult. Ambitious, perhaps. Her lover was one of the ribs that was killed. She is the keeper of its vast library of magical tomes. If you could turn this individual against the cult, convince her to stand against Gendred, you would have a powerful ally. And you can verify what I say by making a brief trip to Kiska and visiting a particular library.
It sounds easy enough. We were going to Kiska anyway. At some point.
He says her name is Mariel Ravenhaired.
Ah!
And he Eldove makes that noise in character.
Absolutely. It's just like, God damn it.
And Orphan looks at Eldove, it's like, do you know her?
I just talked to her the other day.
And he says, I've been keeping tabs on Mariel ever since I slipped Gendred's trap. That's how I know that you visited her. There's a magic word that you can speak. And he speaks a word in the infernal language. A word that comes from the stomach. A word that, when he speaks it, you feel great magic within it. Speak this word in the presence of her books, and the door to its chamber will open. The chamber where he keeps a treasure trove of magical tomes, spellcasting materials gathered from a lifetime of research and, well, killing wizards. What you do with Mariel after that is up to you. I would not underestimate her. If you kill her, there's one fewer lieutenant to worry about. If you turn her, you have a powerful ally. Either way, you know that I'm being truthful.
Orphan nods. Alright. You've done as we asked. You've given us a way to prove your word. It seems to me it's up to us now to go and test that.
Since we could simplify this, you could simply trust me up front.
We could do that if you would tell me what you are.
This is what answer would satisfy you.
I'm not interested in you giving me an answer that would satisfy me. I'm interested in the truth. What are you?
The truth is that I am trapped.
We're all trapped. I'm trapped. The Captain Tarin is trapped, but I'm not you.
He says, I've given you the information you need. I'm here if you have any more questions. When you're ready to make a deal, you know where to find me. He says, oh, tell the last downstairs to have my breakfast sent up first thing in the morning.
Orphan nods. I'll do that. Thank you for your time.
Does anybody else have anything they want to do with Mr. Locke?
Man, Orphan, he's cagey as hell. As hell.
I know!
Literally!
Literally.
God, it's almost like he's some sort of cager.
Did you say, does he or does he not have wings? I think
He does,
right?
yes. He
Okay.
has large wings that he were folded on his back like a cloak.
Yep.
So does Eldove come and immediately smack Zook upside the head?
Oh, absolutely. He's just like, Zook, why do you keep doing this to me?
What? What did I do? Can you tell him exactly what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Zook just kind of face palms and goes, God damn it. Well, hey, I found us a good connection, kind of.
Oh, yeah, it's as great as that time when you came after me with, oh, Eldove, I have this magical key that'll get us into a treasure room. And then a chain demon was inside.
Hey, to be fair, my chain whip attack now is pretty rad.
The radness of your chain whip attack is
So-
not under question here.
Do you guys give Mr. Locke an answer? before verifying the information?
I don't feel like I can because I can't speak for Tarin, and I really need to know for myself, and he's not really making it easy for me. So no.
Why would we now?
So what do you guys do with the book that you received from Ravenhaired?
Oh, we gonna try to break that shit? I think we should try to break that shit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to break that shit.
My other question for this session, by the way, is: are we doing anything with that silver eye?
Let's go ahead and do what we're going to do with the book, and then very quickly we can resolve the silver eye. If
Wait,
Khalil
can we
still
resolve the
wants to.
silver eye first?
Well, are you guys going to do anything with the book?
I think we're gonna try to bust the lock on it.
Okay, how?
Well,
Oh.
that's
We've been adding people to this conclave. I guess we can add Zook because he's a fucking thief, but I think that's nonsense.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Use your wand of level 1 magic missiles on it?
well. Even if you can, never mind. I hate you.
I
was gonna say dispel
seems
it, and then I'll
obvious,
pick the
but,
lock.
Identify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, clearly. That was actually the only thing that I thought I was going to be able to contribute to this group.
You identify the book, and you get a vision of a thief sneaking deep into a cavern where there is a shelf full of such books, and he pulls one off, and it's the book that you're holding in your hand. And the thief speaks an incantation over the lock, and the lock glows for a minute, and then snaps open. And he opens the book, and starts to turn a few of the pages, and as he does, you see all of the color begin draining out of him. And he more feverishly turns page after page after page, and the faster he turns, the faster and faster the color drains out of his body and his clothes, his hair. And eventually, when he reaches the end of the book, he starts to realize what is happening, and he tries to close it. But no sooner does the book snap shut, than the thief vanishes entirely. The book drops to the ground, and the clasp recloses. Attempting to read this book will discharge an imprisonment spell on you.
Well, good thing you did that first.
Yeah.
Do I know the incantation now, though?
To open the book, yes, you do.
So I can absolutely open the book,
But
we just
the
can't
idea-
read it.
He didn't speak the incantation to open the book. He spoke an incantation to dispel the magic holding the lock. The book was designed to be opened. It's designed to be opened and trap whoever's there. The lock is just there to entice you.
So it's just a linking book.
Essentially, yeah. It's a mislinking book.
Man, first lost, now missed. This is just turning into like Ripbird's greatest hits.
So is it just like a prison book? Like, is there any purpose to this book beyond capturing the person who tries to read it?
No,
Well-
she gave us a trap.
Zook's got it exactly right. You asked too many
She
questions
gave-
about her cult. She gave you a book to trap you.
I say we go
Yeah.
bust her head.
That seems like a plan.
Okay, we're going to actually do the head busting next session. Let's mutilate Khalil's face.
Oh
Yes.
god, this will be great.
Yes.
Khalil's just sitting there staring at this thing like...
You don't, Khalil. You don't have to use it.
Khalil, no one will respect you if you don't use it.
Khalil, you don't have to use it.
Khalil, wouldn't it be rad to be able to shoot lightning and then be thunderstruck? Could be a
Listen.
powerful eye wizard.
I'm picturing Khalil sitting there at the table with the silver eye on the table in front of him. And on one shoulder he has Arik, and on the other shoulder he has Eldove with a pitchfork.
Yeah, it's about how this is
That's
going.
about what...
So what does Khalil do? What's Khalil's decision?
I mean,
Orphan says
you
to
are
Cleo,
losing the respect of either me or Eldove. Put it that way.
What's
Who do you-
Orphan's
who-
counsel?
Oh, she's just gonna say, if you do decide to do it, I can do it. I can take the eye very quickly. It won't
God.
not painlessly, mind you, but quickly.
No, no,
can-
no. We will
can
do
Tarin-
this correctly.
Can Tarin give us a suggestion to make him not feel any pain or anything
No,
like that?
if we damage, will actually break it.
No, this was going to hurt a lot, no matter who does it.
I mean, you want me doing this?
Listen, what's the worst that
I
can
wanna-
happen?
I just do the red eye strike technique. It's great.
What's
Yeah,
Khalil's
I mean,
decision?
if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do the eye strike technique. Let's be real here.
Now I have to. Now I gotta watch that movie tonight. Thanks.
This is like Kill Bill Part 2, right?
What
Yeah.
is the eye strike technique?
Kill Bill, where they pull your eye out of your head in like a split second, like lightning fast, like cha! It's really good.
Yeah,
Wow.
the second Kill Bill film.
So what's Khalil's decision?
Worst comes to worst, we can just regenerate him.
That's true.
Because I'm an endless healing battery.
Right, exactly.
What's Khalil's decision? I gotta
Let's
open up
do
chat
it.
and see how crazy is chat going crazy about. Is he doing
Let's
it?
do it.
You're gonna do it. So what do you do?
Let's do it.
We're doing this?
We're doing this.
Eldove claps.
I'm putting a link into the stream chat for reference. Not
Okay.
safe for work warning.
Yeah, it's pretty gory. So Khalil, what do you do?
All right,
I'm a-
you said, all right. What can you do exactly, Eric?
We can cut your eye out. I can cast Calm Emotion on you so you don't freak out. I can try to keep the blood loss at a minimal as I insert this thing into your eye socket.
Khalil is kind of rubbing his head with one finger, like dangerously close to his right eye socket.
Now wait 1 second. When I saw the vision, he had to pull his own eye out. How do we know that's not part of the magic?
Because you cast Identify and you know it's not part of the magic. You just have to put it into an empty eye socket. He did it
Yeah,
because
but
he's a
keep in
fucking
mind-
barbarian. That's why he did it.
I'm not sure Eldove would pass that along.
I'm looking really hard at Eldove's chaotic good alignment right now.
Do you? And I
This
know
is
this is
rad,
probably a touchy subject right now, but would you like a nice, clean demi-plane to perform the operation on?
Eldove cackles at touchy subject.
Sir, give him more demi-plane PTSD.
So how's it happening? We got 10 minutes before
Alright.
the game's got to end.
Alright. Alright, Khalil. Follow
Alright.
me.
Okay.
I'm leading him to the makeshift shrine.
Okay.
I'll go along with it.
And Bran is in there.
I imagine we're all coming.
And Bran sees everybody enter, and he kind of stands at attention, and... Good
Lead
morning.
us, Brad. Lead
Kid,
us,
you're probably
Brad,
gonna want to
please.
get out of here.
Yeah.
And he looks with some concern. He says, is something wrong? Did something happen to Khalil? And he looks at him and looks him up and down.
Zook says no, but something's about to happen
Khalil
to
has
him.
a 1,000-yard stare right now. He's just
Everything's
like,
fine. It's an adventurer thing. Get out.
And
Orphan
Bran
asks
quickly,
Eric seriously.
gathers his effects and ushers himself out of the shrine.
Orphan asks Eric seriously, do you really want this to happen in your shrine?
I mean, no, but better in the presence of Osprem than not.
Yeah, Osprum's an underwater god, right? She probably has like 50 eyes.
Or no eyes if she's particularly deep.
All right, so
Um,
what's next?
Lay down. I gesture.
Yep.
I get. He needs something to bite onto. So he doesn't
Khalil
swallow
reaches
his
into
own
his
tongue.
pocket, pulls out like this rough rawhide leather that he's been working with.
Tarin will offer his flask.
Might as well.
What the hell is in that flask?
Oh, it's the heaviest shit I know.
It's
Yeah,
onion
it
juice.
really is.
So Khalil puts the
will take
leather
a
in his
pull of
mouth.
the flask.
Okay.
This
Pulls the
is.
flask. And
So-
Eric, you said you're using your glaive to do this?
Oh yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna use
no,
my
no,
glaive.
no.
Very.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
Orphan gets to do this. Come on.
Oh, Orphan is the most clean.
Precise.
Yes, precise.
Is this genuinely a thing she can do?
You always miss with the glaive. I don't want to trust
I wasn't gonna use.
What were you gonna use? The fucking butt?
Yeah.
You hit him
I
in the
s-
back with back of the
I
head
was
with
gonna.
that.
I was gonna use medicine to perform, like,
A
get like
surgical
dagger
procedure?
And, yeah.
Do you
Get
even
me
know
a-
And make
medicine?
this more.
So who's
what's
doing
this-
it? Orphan or Eric?
What's your medicine score? What's your medicine score?
I have +9 to medicine.
All right, you win. Everyone got +7.
Okay. Orphan can help,
can you-
though. Orphan can use the help action, because I know she's also trained in medicine, and that would let him make it with advantage. Make this check.
Eldove, can you do Owl's Wisdom here, or?
Well, he's already going to be making it with advantage.
Okay.
I do need a sharp dagger-like implement, though, so I can perform this.
I can, you know what I will do? I'll cast, whatchamacallit, what's a good one here?
Fireball?
I know exactly what I want to cast, I just don't know the name of it. There's Endurance on Khalil.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the name?
You have advantage on Constitution checks and
Now-
some other useless shit.
You understand that this technically makes Eldove Khalil's nurse.
And
We all know what happened in 50 Shades of Sand now.
Alright, so
does Eldove show up in 50 Shades
Yes.
of Sand?
Eldove casts the spell to give Khalil superhuman endurance, and Arik takes his knife. Go ahead and make that medicine check with advantage. Orphan is
Alright.
standing by with gauze and bandages, and
Do you want that one or do you want that one?
Don't joke about that, because that's what will happen. So 20.
20?
Yeah.
Khalil,
Yes.
make a Constitution save with whatever benefits Eldove spell gave you.
Oh, I think that.
Advantage.
Oh,
So-
does it give advantage on?
It gives
on
advantage.
saves?
Advantage on
Yeah.
save? Okay, so yeah, make Constitution save with advantage.
What's the DC?
Well, we'll find out once I throw the dice.
Yeah.
+8 says either a 5 or.
I'm taking
13.
credit for that 13.
21.
21?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second.
And I am, when it feels like when it looks like he is starting to freak out, I will cast Calm Emotions on him.
Don't say I never did anything awesome for you.
Khalil,
Yes.
19 piercing damage. As Arik works inside the eye socket with this dagger, cuts your eyeball out of your head. This is pain like you've never experienced in your life. Arik pops it out. Orphan standing by with shears. She gets in there and clips the optic nerve.
Calm Emotions. I cast Calm Emotions.
Arik
You
comes.
do it.
It still hurts like a mofo, but you're feeling alright about it now. You're
You
in
do
a
have
good place with it.
2d6 temp HP from the spell.
There you go. So who's got the silver eye?
I assume
Oh
I
shit,
do.
we left it in the house.
Oh, we gotta run
No,
back
I
and get it. Oh, fuck, it's in Kiska. Well, send the ship over and grab it real quick. So, Arik, what do you do with the silver eye?
Why does this always happen?
I
when
insert it
cows don't
into the
die?
socket.
Wait, did you put it right side up?
I hope so.
It doesn't really seem to be a right side up. It's pretty
Yeah.
featureless all around. So you manage to work the eye in the socket, and there's like a sickening sound as it falls into place in the back of the head. There's blood all over his face that you guys are wiping
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
as soon as
Sorry, keep going.
the eyeball is in the socket, Khalil, you feel that what is now to you a familiar process of becoming attuned to the item. Like the magic of the item is starting to work its way into your body. And you know also from experience this process will take at least an hour.
Okay. Khalil will sit up, shove his way past anybody who happens to be in his way, sit down underneath a tree, light his pipe, and wait it off.
Cry.